Before we talk about cleaning up your builds, guys, in today's video, let's talk about cleaning up your mouth with today's sponsors, Quip. Quip is an affordable electric toothbrush, guys, starting at just $25 that I personally use because I like electric toothbrushes over regular toothbrushes when I have the opportunity to. So if you want to get yourself one today and you want to help support the Twitchiest community, check out the link down below. Now let's start talking about those builds. Hello everybody, Incon here with a new series. We're going to be doing a lot more helpful stuff here for Smite, guys, as well as some of the other games that we're playing. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of situational items. I see that a lot of players get stuck into their builds and they don't change it at all. No matter what situation, they're always going to buy this item, then this item, then this item. So I want to talk about a couple of situational items today. Today we're going to talk about two in particular. Some days it might be one, some days it might be two, three, whatever. It's just going to depend on how I feel like they're grouping together and get utilized. But today we're going to be talking about Witchblade and Midguardian mail, when you should be buying them, who you should be buying them on, and which time you should pick up which one. So right off the bat, the easiest thing, guys, when talking about Witchblade and Midguardian mail, what kind of characters can you afford to pick this up on? A lot of you out there, I'm sorry for my mid players and my hunter players. For the most part, you're not picking either of these up on mages, and you're not picking either of these up on hunters. In the bizarre situation that you are running a mage or a hunter in a non-standard position, we see sometimes mages getting run as like solo laners, maybe even like a Hera support. In those situations, you can still pick these up, but if you're playing the traditional ADC role or the traditional mid role, no matter what the situation, don't worry about this. This video is not for you, my friends. Don't ever pick up Midguardian mail or Witchblade. That is going to be the other role's responsibilities. Those roles, of course, being the support, the jungler, and the solo laner. All three of those roles potentially can end up picking up some of these items. So now that we know what role we're looking at for these item guys situationally, let's talk about what these items actually do, what their actual stats are. So with Witchblade, we have a 2,050 gold cost item, 200 health, 10% cooldown reduction, 20% attack speed, 10% movement speed, and the situational part for this, and the reason why you should consider picking it up, is the aura, which is enemies within 55 units have their attack speed reduced by 20%. So you're picking this item up against heavy attack speed team comps, just like Midguardian mail, and its stats are 300 health, 40 physical protections, a total of 2,300 gold costs, and its passive. Enemies that successfully land a basic attack on you have their movement speed and attack speed reduced by 8% for 2 seconds, and this can stack up to 3 times, and it stacks with other item slow effects. So it could theoretically get up to 24%, plus it stacks with other item slow effects, so you can utilize this on top of other things like, let's say, Frostbound Hammer, it would theoretically stack with. So before we get into which one of these are you picking, let's talk about the situation where either of these are going to be looking viable. That's going to be in your situations where you have compositions that you're going against that are relying heavily on attack speed. This goes for magical or physical attack damage characters. So let's think about Kronos as a magical character, Soul as a magical character, but both of them can rely on attack speed. As far as your physical characters go, it's usually a little bit more straightforward. You're talking about typically your ADCs. You got all your hunters that are looking for that, but also you've got certain characters like Bakasura, Kali, sometimes Arachne, also characters that are looking to be a little bit more attack speed focused. And so those are the type of characters that you're looking out for. Anybody who you think to yourself, if I was playing that character, would I be building attack speed? If the answer is yes, then these items open up for you to potentially build that match. So you've decided that you need to reduce your enemy's attack speed based off of their composition that has, let's say, 2 or more attack speed characters. These become viable to build. If they only have one character that's going to be utilizing attack speed, you really don't need to be worried about counter build one person. Focus on 2 or more characters that you're trying to counter build. Now, looking at their composition, are they leaning heavily into the attack speed magical, or are they leaning in heavily the attack speed physical? If they're leaning into attack speed physical, Midgardian male is staying in the race. If they're leaning towards attack speed magical, then the physical defense that you're getting from Midgardian male isn't going to be nearly as important, and you're already immediately leaning into Witchblade. Next, let's break it down just a little bit more, guys. Let's talk about your role. What are you playing? We know that we're looking at supports, we're looking at junglers, we're looking at solo laners. If you're looking at support in solo lane, you're more often going to be frontlining. You're more often going to be having people hit you no matter what. Your body blocking autos, those kinds of things. Midgardian male, once again, becomes a little bit more enticing. If you're the jungler, let's assume that you're building maybe not crazy tanky, but you can afford to build a little bit tanky. Witchblade is probably going to be a little bit of your better option because it doesn't require you to get hit to be getting out that passive to help out your team, not to mention yourself from getting auto-attacked. You're a little bit focusing more so in the jungle role of not getting hit, so Witchblade more often than not is going to be better than you for Midgardian male. So now you're deciding on your solo or your support play style. You're trying to decide, all right, do I get Witchblade and Midgardian male? If they're heavy on that physical damage, they're heavy on the physical attack speed, look to go into that Midgardian male. It's going to help you get right up in their faces. Now, let's say you're feeling a bit squishy. Let's say maybe even you're a little bit behind, particularly for our support players out there. You can't really afford to get hit because if you're getting hit, you're just dying. So you don't really want the Midgardian male because you don't plan on trying to get hit that much. You're just going to try to throw out a Geb shield, throw out some CC to peel, and you're kind of running around like an idiot yourself because you're down 5 levels because it happens sometimes. Well, then you definitely want to be going into the Witchblade because you're going to be giving that aura effect to your team in team fights no matter what without ever needing to be hit. So lean into that Witchblade. For the most part, guys, between Midgardian Blade and Midgardian male and Witchblade, when in doubt, I would lean into Witchblade. It is generically the better item here. Situationally, that Midgardian male, some of those things we talked about beforehand, it can come into more effect. But in general, if you need an anti-attack speed item, I would lean you into Witchblade unless you're feeling confident that you need that physical defense. You're feeling confident that maybe you're a couple levels ahead, you're going to be a big bruiser, you're going to get up in their faces, then be leaning into that Midgardian male. Hope you guys learned something in this video. I hope you guys start putting Witchblade and Midgardian male into your builds, guys, depending if the situation is right. Long story short, remember that Witchblade is better in more situations. Generically, the stats are going to be a little bit better in a more larger variety of situations compared to Midgardian male, but don't be afraid to pick up Midgardian in those situations that we talked about, guys. I want to start doing more videos like this, more videos to help you guys. I'm probably going to get back into doing tier lists, stuff like that, but I also want to do maybe these, shorter videos that just talk about one subject, get it out of the way, bada bing, bada boom, you can come in, learn something, and then put it into your gameplay. So please, guys, if you have any ideas, I've gotten a bunch from stream and from you guys here on YouTube that I've got into a list now that I'm going to start working through for things that people said they either needed help on or that things that they would have liked to have had helped on when they started playing Smite. So thank you guys so much. I could not do this without you, and as always, have a twitching day, y'all. Roll the outro. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell, guys, in order to get notifications for our uploads. If you want to go the extra mile to help support the twitchiest community, you can always go to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Incon and use your Twitch Prime sub there. It's a great way to help support the community. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a twitching day, y'all.